Hey guys, welcome back. Episode 43 with our guest, the shoe man himself, Danny Livingston.
Yes. We talk about crazy cities in America and things he's seen. Being broke in Seattle, had your card. Sleeper cities.
Been afraid in Detroit.
They stole my glasses. They stole my samples.
We talk about why every cult and religion started in New York.
Western
New York. We talk about the weed capital of New York, which is not Oneonta. We'll tell you what it is in the podcast. We talk about black people and women playing Othello.
What?
And the pizza and Chinese terrible in South Dakota.
We talk about the Knicks, who are useless and are not going to win this year.
We talk about the Knicks' chances, which Alex knows nothing about. He was silent for most of that.
Listen, that's like being a Jets fan. It's sad.
When there's films that they're still in the playoffs.
We talk about Othello, Shakespeare, of course.
Knowing when you're about to get robbed in Detroit.
Yeah.
And you better be at least 6'1" or you're going to be robbed.
Don't wear a watch. Don't wear a watch.
We
also talked about a guy that made Alex look like a midget.
Yeah. And the giant Romanian. You want to hear about the giant Romanian?
Tune in.
Check it out.
Episode 43. Thank you. Like, share, subscribe. Let's get into it, everybody.
Make you guys famous. So I've been around a lot of famous people in the past week, like insanely famous people. I was in the fashion business for a long time in the high end. Look up this guy Platon, Platon. You ever hear of him? Look up Platon, Platon, photographer. Look who's taking pictures. Look whose portraits are of. Putin, Gaddafi, Obama, everyone. So he took a picture of me and my three friends the other night. Because he was just at the party, and we were leaving. I was like, "I want Platon." He took my phone. So my picture is taken by him.
You got to save that picture.
I have it. I'll show it to you.
Yeah. How was the picture? Shitty?
No, it's just on my phone, which is just funny. I mean,
taping? Just pull the mic. Oh, pull the mic. Oh.
It's just funny. Because,
all right.
This guy who's taking pictures, he had,
and that's why you don't like Greek people, huh?
No.
I just said that because the mic just got pulled in, so people are going to think I was bad-mouthing Greek people.
But he was
he's
telling
Greek,
me about
Platon.
taking pictures with Putin.
Platon Antonou.
Where he had a gun to his head as security while he's photographing Putin, who has two...
The gun was to his head during...
Like there. Like guys, security sitting there.
They don't frisk him first. They had a gun to his head.
Frisk him, doing everything.
And they keep a gun on him.
They don't know what's in the camera. They don't know what the camera is.
They say that people hug. He thinks
not allowed to touch fingers.
People are going to try to smell. Yeah, they don't shake hands. They're cyanide. They're worried about the little spray.
He had two translators. Speaks perfect English. Has two translators just in case he misses nuance.
Jesus.
It was fascinating. Everyone he was telling these stories.
Those translators disappear if something goes wrong.
Yeah. But he did. So he's the one who takes pictures of Time Man of the Year and stuff like that.
Those translators end up in Brighton Beach.
I know.
Slinging Russian ravioli if they miss a word.
Plum Beach, worse. Plum Beach.
Plum Beach.
You know Plum Beach?
No.
Plum Beach is off the belt. It's just a little house. It's right at Knapp Street.
I spent a lot of time in Brighton Beach when I had a Ukrainian girlfriend.
Did you?
And I spent a lot of time there. I used to go to those stores and buy food and bread.
And the train?
Those chocolates and right by the train there at Brighton Beach. Holy crap! You feel like you're in Russia. You feel like they say you feel like you're in Kiev.
Yeah.
They're all Ukrainians, though.
Yeah.
A lot of people think that's Russians. They're all Ukrainian Jewish people, right? Yeah. People don't know that. It's not Russian.
There's also a Russian area that's more in Sheepshead Bay.
Sheepshead Bay Russians, right?
They tell you the place to go to eat is called, I want to say Tiffany's. There's a restaurant there called Tiffany's, and that's the place.
Did you ever eat at a Russian restaurant? Get the dumplings and stuff?
No.
They're hilarious because in America, you go to a restaurant, what do you get? Who serves you usually? Yeah. It's either a young guy or a really pretty girl, right? And you come over and a waitress is cute. And that's an American thing. You go to any Russian restaurant, it's a guy with a beer belly who's bigger than me who comes out, and he comes out with his little thing and he goes, Yes, can I take order for you, please? And I'm sitting there. I'm like, yeah, I'll take that. Yeah, that's good. Yes, and he's huge. Yeah. Because they don't look at it like, oh, it's got to be a pretty girl, sir. That's an American thing. It's got to be a pretty girl doing a waitress. They don't care.
What happened to the girl?
I don't know. She's back there making the ravioli.
No, I mean, what happened to the girl you were dating?
She was. No, it's just. It was a long time ago.
She
That
was
like-
from Soviet Union.
She was-
She didn't. They didn't get along too.
She was the last girlfriend before I met the wife.
Where's your wife from?
She's Russian. From Kazakhstan.
Wow.
Borat, the Borat country.
No, I sell a lot. I sell a lot of the Bacarian. A lot of the Bacarian Jewish guys from Forest Hills and Brooklyn. They have stores everywhere.
Yeah. So you know what they call that? That's Central Asia.
Central Asia.
So Russian people don't realize it's so big. It's twice the size of the U.S.
Yeah.
Left and right. It's huge. So that part of Russia is already, they call it Central Asia. It's not Asia yet. It's not. They're Russian, but a lot of them are already starting to look Asian.
Yeah.
You know.
No, all the guys are named Boris and Alex and.
Yeah, they got like 4 names, Russian people, right? Alex, Boris,
Eric.
Putin, and that's it.
Eric.
Vladimir,
Oleg.
right? They have the least names.
I actually got a guy on my phone as Russian Alex. Believe it or not, I do. I work with
Sasha, what do they say? Sasha. Sasha's Alex.
Russian Alex. We used to drive like these signage trucks in Virginia, and I was driving around in circles, and I noticed he was parked up. So I went up to him. I was like, I don't understand this road. He goes, yeah, this road is idiotic. So I drive for 20, I park for 20, read newspaper.
I'm going to Virginia on Sunday, 7 hours,
Oh yeah?
selling shoes. I'm going to the middle of Staunton, Virginia.
You like the drive and the travel? I'd love it.
I drive 1,200 miles a week.
1,200 miles a week.
Last week I was in Chambersburg, Pennsylvania with the Amish, like going around in circles to like all the different farms and the houses. They sell shoes in their houses.
Have you been to every state in America?
I'm missing 3. Go ahead.
ones?
Which ones?
I'm gonna guess. Hold on. Arkansas,
No, been.
North Dakota,
Been.
shit, South Dakota.
Been.
You're missing 3.
Oregon.
One's an easy one. The other 2 are not. Been to Oregon.
Utah?
Been.
That's a big state. I shouldn't have said that. I take that back.
New
How about
Mexico.
Missouri.
New Mexico. I haven't been to New Mexico.
Missouri?
Been to Missouri. And I can tell you a
He
story
gets
about
the
each
first
one.
one from New Mexico.
New Mexico I haven't
I'm an
been.
American.
Alaska.
Alaska's another one.
There's one
So
more.
Alaska, New Mexico. Hold on. I'm gonna get the third one. No, you've been to Alaska.
Iowa.
My grandfather was born in Iowa. Believe it or not.
I'm gonna
I've
get
been
it.
to Iowa.
I'm gonna get it. Hold on. It's gonna be one of the someplace where they don't
said
wear
it-
shoes. Hold on. Somewhere where they don't wear fucking shoes.
They wear shoes.
Hold on. Hawaii.
Been to Hawaii. First honeymoon.
What's the third one?
Not Maine.
New Mexico. This man is.
It's not a difficult one. It just never got there for some reason. Got close, didn't go in. Like
Mississippi?
Nebraska. No, I've been to Mississippi. Like
Oklahoma.
Oklahoma. There's a third one.
Yeah. Got,
Got close, didn't get in. And like Nebraska, the first time I went to Nebraska, I had circled Nebraska, never went in. I drove over the border, went to eat at Warren Buffett's favorite restaurant, came back in and went home.
One of the, you know how they joke misery, Missouri. I already gave up the joke. They call it misery. Have you driven through it?
They call it Show
It's
Me
nothing
State.
but tornadoes. It's nothing.
Show me what?
Show me state.
That's
It's
what
the
they call
most
it.
depressing state.
It is.
It was foggy.
It's the show me state, though.
Yeah.
You can't tell them.
I drove to.
You tell them something, they say, "Show me." Yeah. Prove it.
I did a mic in St.
it.
Louis. I did a mic this year.
Did you?
Well, they got to show me a good state because it's a horrible looking state. It's just
no,
flat. It was
There's
just
nothing to
cows.
do. You know what they have there that's phenomenal? They have the best ribs in the country.
Yeah.
St. Louis ribs, a place called
That's true, St. Louis.
Sugar something.
I mean, it's one of the 3 styles of barbecue.
see the arc?
Yeah,
It's
it's
St. Louis
really,
barbecue,
really good.
Texas,
Meat falls off the bone.
And what's the other one?
North Carolina or Kansas
Carolina.
City. Yeah.
It's
Kansas
really
City.
the 3. Kansas City.
I've been to like
Wait, Kansas City, Missouri?
Kansas
Yeah.
City,
So
Missouri.
2 of them are from Missouri.
Yeah. But the other side of
There
the
you
state.
go.
Yeah.
It's like Buffalo and New York. They're not that close.
But it's North Carolina and North Carolina barbecue.
I go to North Carolina a lot. I go to every place a lot because I travel the country for shoes. So I've been everywhere. So if you name a
I
state,
love Charlotte. You like Charlotte?
hour and 23 minute
beautiful
flight.
they
have 5 of the
city.
biggest shoe companies in the country there.
Charlotte?
If the person who's the rep in shoes for Charlotte, if it's the right brand, they're zillionaires. They get rich. The salesmen like me, they get rich. $1 million a year.
Wow.
Like they get rich.
If I want to change career and go into that right now,
You
can
don't
I
want to
do
be
that?
in my business. No, my business. I'm the kid. I'm 64 and I'm the kid.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's amazing how you see like
Gave me a little look like, don't you try.
no, you'd lose
you
first of
try.
all you'd lose your mind because the people who buy shoes. First of all, think about where you can buy shoes in Westchester County.
I don't even know.
Right.
It's all online.
Macy's.
Queens doesn't have a shoe store.
It's
Queens
all
has,
online now.
Right.
Yeah,
So you
there's
have to-
Zappos. I get them.
but you go to Brooklyn.
Shouldn't have said that.
There's a shoe store every other block. especially if you're dealing with the Orthodox, which I was with the
There's
Orthodox.
a wig store on every other block.
I was with the Orthodox.
You ever
today.
see the wig stores in Brooklyn?
yeah.
For the Orthodox women? It's just that
Yeah.
thing of wigs.
Yeah, the
all made and
scheitels.
all from real human hair.
Yeah.
You gotta
I
get
was
a-
in Muncie yesterday with the Orthodox. Women are wearing like 3 sets of pantyhose.
You
They have
think
soup
if-
in their
you
crotch.
think-
Ooh wee,
You
boy.
think the hair smells like the original woman? Like,
Stinking.
They clean. They're very clean.
what if the husband's like gonna go have sex with the woman and he smells her wig and he's like,
No,
Barbara?
the
Wait a
women
minute,
are
is this Barbara
the women are
from across the street?
the women are clean. The women
Oh, I know.
are like they like make it their business. They really keep themselves. You know, they wear the wig so the men aren't attracted to other women. So the men so they don't bring in other women.
Well, they're not supposed to show their real hair.
A lot of
to the
women.
man,
It
right?
depends on how religious they are. A lot of them wear wigs and have hair underneath it. They just tie it up.
You ever see that movie where Natalie Portman plays one of those women from that community, and she wants to marry that Indian guy, but she
I
can't.
didn't see that movie. I saw the movie on Orthodox.
She plays it.
which
She
was
does the.
real. Natalie Portman is. I mean, she was raised Orthodox.
Syosset. She's from Long Island.
She's from Israel. She was
Yeah,
born in Israel.
She's born in Israel, but she went to Syosset High School.
Yeah.
She went to the same, I think, the high school as Jerry Seinfeld, right?
No, Seinfeld's from Massapequa.
Massapequa. Okay.
But
Near each other.
Syosset High School is where Judd Apatow went.
Syosset is it's the richest, pretty much.
It's a top 10 high school in the country.
Yeah.
Public school.
Well, guys.
Hi.
I mean,
guys,
interrupt
we're
you,
here.
but
We're
welcome,
here.
welcome.
Oh, hi.
We're here.
We've got a guest in the building today. Episode 43.
43.
You could look into this camera if you
Hi.
want.
43. Jim McAndrew, 1969 Mets.
He's like an encyclopedia.
Yeah.
You know, I tell you a real quick story about how
Tell me a slow story.
these two guys are such sports fans that it's not even. I'm not a huge sports fan. I'm a casual sports fan, and I started to make a joke about you guys. Remember that you guys were talking about the Knicks?
Yeah.
And I walk over. I'm trying to get in on the conversation, and this is what these guys are saying. You're like, listen, we got to shore up our inner line because the outside got something with something, and these guys we just don't have it on the second. But and you guys went into like this shop talk about basketball.
Very
And I'm
upsetting.
standing there like.
I don't want to face Atlanta in the first round.
I wanted to
want
be.
the Toronto in the first round.
No, I'm not ducking anybody. If we got to win a championship,
guys.
we can't
You
duck.
watch Charlotte go up against Detroit.
I can
That's
care-
going to
I
be
can care
brutal.
honestly, I can care who we play. As long as we show up and play our game offensively and defensively, I think we're going to be fine.
How long you been a Knicks fan?
Born a Knicks fan.
Born a Knicks fan.
Born a Knicks fan. I came of age in 1969 and won a championship when I came of age.
First game you went to see the Knicks. Go.
I went to see the Knicks play in 69, 70. They won a championship because you could still get tickets because the games were not on TV. The games were only on a circuit. You can only get the TV. You only watch it it's very difficult. You can watch the games.
So let me ask you
Championship
this.
game.
For me,
They weren't making any money back then. The players.
No.
for me, it
broke.
was the Knicks magic. Shaquille O'Neal's rookie year.
That's when he pushed Ewing
That's
around.
pretty
He
far
was
back.
pushing Ewing around.
30,
He was just
I mean,
I've never
he's a
seen him.
Big, heavy.
Yeah.
He was
Seen the
93.
Knicks. I've never
No,
been.
69 Knicks.
Really?
There was a
then
perfect team.
I did events at the Garden, so then we would go in and watch
Oh,
the
so
game.
you got to be there.
Yeah,
Nice.
couple few
No,
times.
we grew up watching the Knicks, and the Knicks moved without the ball. It was the Red Holtzman was the coach. They moved around without the ball.
Can I tell you something about baseball that I know? And not from me, from a
Anything.
friend of mine.
Baseball, we can talk all
that's
day.
older. He explained to me, this friend of mine, where baseball got its popularity. And he said, they didn't make money. They had like second jobs until the 70s. So he said he would go see them in the 60s, right? And he says, at Yankee Stadium, the fans would go out onto the field. They would open up the thing, and then the players would like shake people's hands.
Sure.
Like you shake hands with like Mickey Mantle.
Sure.
Because they were making, he said, like $125,000 a year.
The good guys.
100? So like that's like if today they're making like 300,000, 405.
They
Some of them had other jobs. He
They
said
all
in the
had other
60s.
jobs.
And also,
They
also
all had other jobs.
They got drafted as well.
Yeah.
And they had to go to the Army.
Yeah,
I mean, they were all in the Army. Ted Williams missed the first, 4
Imagine
critical years of his
LeBron
life.
couldn't play in the finals because he's fighting.
Hey, shoot me. I'm LeBron. Shoot me.
me.
Go shoot. Oh, he would do it really good at faking it, right?
He fakes it a lot, and he travels on every play. It's unbelievable how he travels on every. Plus, none of the guys they didn't have a 3-point shot.
No.
So you're looking at the greatest athlete in the planet who's ever been. It's probably Wilt Chamberlain. This guy didn't have any of these actually. Couldn't hit foul
Slept
shots.
with 5,000 women, 10,000 women.
Could have been
20,000.
20,000. Imagine.
You know, I think he gets a little crazy. He'd have to sleep with like one. The way he said it, he'd have to be like 2 or 3 a day every day. If you do the math, I don't know about
He
that.
must have counted big rooms like auditoriums.
But before we get there, we were talking about this place.
Yeah.
Because he likes the setup. I said when we first started, right? When I came here, I was looking for this place, and I came downstairs and looked, and they gave me a number to call. Nobody never got back to me. When I finally got it, years later, pandemic. Wow. Pandemic. So this was shut down for like 2 years. When I came back, ran into the lovely Terrence because I called him. I was supposed to come in, and I forgot. But then I came in and we talked. The next thing you know, we in a podcast, baby.
This is like unbelievable. I mean, I love this. This is like, this is interesting, fascinating.
Welcome our guest, none other than, let's get a drum roll. Boom. Comedian, shoe salesman, Danny Livingston. Welcome, sir.
Thank you very much.
Thank you,
Thrilled to be here. So happy to be here, my buddies.
Legend of shoes.
Yeah.
So happy, but you know, I was
Your
selling
actors-
shoes all day. I mean, look, let me tell you.
You say you were in my neighborhood.
I was in Brooklyn all day today. I'm in Brooklyn most every day of my life. Brooklyn blood, Queens blood.
That's a long drive, though, no?
Oh, you know, let me tell you, it took 2.5 hours to get from where I live to Midwood in Brooklyn.
I love how in your act you got that joke about the 6 toes.
6 toes.
Have you really seen 6 toes?
Absolutely. 7 toes.
You know what they call it, right? Polydactyly?
The polydactyl,
Polydactyly,
not the
right.
Jurassic bird. The
Jesus.
polydactyl, the 6 toe.
Does it look freaky? Does
The
it
first
move?
time you see it, it's alarming. And you hope that the woman, usually it's the women who have it because they try on more shoes than men. Usually that the polydactyl is something that they hope that they laugh about. But it truly pops out of the sandal. And it becomes, you have to have wide-banded
Does
sandals.
it move on its own?
It's usually crumpled up over so that because their shoes have always been small. So I make the joke about women having hammer toes. Well, the polydactyl actually ends up being one of the hammer toes. Mm-hmm. It's somewhat repulsive. The first time you see it, it's alarming.
It's very repulsive.
And it's funny when they're painted because they're like, they're embarrassed. It looks also as if the person had a twin, like that didn't get developed on their shoulder. Like they had
And they still
extra
paint it, right?
person,
Yeah.
you know, like they had
Like
another
the
person.
retarded toe.
That's
Yeah.
like painting that dead grandma you keep upstairs in the
Yeah.
attic. You don't want to paint it. Just
But
let her
it
be.
could remove surgically, though, right?
Of course, but they never do. But when I was in retail many years ago, the women I helped were wildly affluent. Like they weren't like affluent. Multiple homes. The UN would be in session,
Oh,
and the
really?
people would come in and say, you know, and they're buying things, and you can't get a sense of it, especially if you were raised middle class or lower middle class. Of like, you know, how much is a pair of shoes? $29.9. These are, you know, $399, and they're buying 12 different pairs, and they don't even leave their credit card numbers on file. They send it to my homes.
Different
It's
level.
retail at a different planet. And
So-
UN was in session. That was pretty impressive.
You're asking me about that girl I used
Yeah.
to date? She used to work for Bloomingdale's. I just remember the story. This is like, man, I'm going back 25 years. She worked for Bloomingdale's selling high-end purses.
Yeah.
It was like a job before she went to school. And she said, like, people would walk in the store, like old women. This is what they would do. They have a little store in Bloomingdale's in the city where it's like a little boutique area in the corner by one of the exits. And they sell purses that start at $5,000 to $10,000.
Birkin
She says
bags.
She says women will walk in and goes, how much is that one? Says, that's 20. I'll take that one. And how much is that? I'll take those two. And they walk two $25,000 purses. Yeah. And this is 25 years ago. So you just double that number now.
Retail. We had a gentleman. We had.
They didn't want him. She says, and she would go, this one's really lovely. How much is this one? That's $4,000. I don't want that. They don't care how it looks. They're going by what's the most expensive. Give me the most expensive.
Well, they also, what they do is a lot of the women, I worked at Bloomingdale's for a very short time, and what the women used to do there, they were, and this sounds terrible, but they were divorced, and they would spend the money on their husband's credit card and then return the bag for cash.
Hustle.
Wow.
Every day I'm hustling. Every day I'm hustling.
Yeah, every day you're hustling. Yeah, and it's funny. I mean, it almost becomes comical because you'd see the women, and they'd come in, and you'd say, we have to avoid this person. This is a return coming.
Whoa.
Wow.
Ralph Lauren alligator pumps they would buy and then return them.
Get some cold hard cash.
Yeah, cash.
Sounds like something your people
Cash
would do.
money.
I'm already trying to scheme something up right now.
You'll feel guilty. Shame and guilt, but it's the razor's edge.
Damn.
Yeah.
Yeah. Bloomingdale's got busted. One time they made not busted, they made a mistake. This happened when she's telling me that story. This happened in early 2000s. Bloomingdale's did like a promo where like if you spend $1,000, you get like a $50 gift card.
Yeah.
But they had some glitch in the system where if you return the products, you still get to keep the gift card. So one person did it for like $3 million, like 80 times or whatever it was.
Shit.
And they walked away with the money. There's nothing they could do because it was in the policy.
It's like that movie they made about the guy with the pudding. The Adam Sandler movie, Drunk Love, where he cut off every coupon put like chocolate Jello pudding, and he now has lifetime flight on United Airlines or something like that.
Yeah.
There was a guy that my friend knew. He was a Trinidadian dude, worked at a bank, that he would skim off 2-3 cents from, on account.
That's the Office Space idea. Yeah.
Don't
Two,
you
three-
feel? Yeah,
three
it's
cents.
Office Space. Yeah, that was.
One Jewish lady called him.
Yeah. Oh, look, she's
Dude,
telling
in
me.
Office Space, what they do it millions of times.
And he got away for the first round. He got away for it.
Did he go to
Got
jail?
Good money, of course.
I was
How
just.
long?
Second, I don't know how long.
I had a guy-
Probably still in jail now.
I was in the community. I was in the Orthodox community the other day, and they were explaining this thing about. It was fascinating about how the best way to save money is not to save money. Is you buy a building. You put 10% down. You buy a building. You have 90% of the bank's money, and you keep paying off the mortgage a little bit more at a time, a little bit more at a time. Then you rent all the spaces. So you're getting money in above the mortgage. It was fascinating.
At one point, a lot of
the bank's money.
A lot of those buildings in Williamsburg now,
Yeah,
Crown
the other
Heights,
side.
they used to get for $1 from
For
off the
$1,
city.
they take it. Please,
My-
the city was begging them to
My,
take
my
it.
grandfather had an opportunity because he had a church and he had an opportunity to have a building.
You know where that happened recently? And not for $1, but Detroit after the financial crisis.
yeah,
Oh wait,
yeah.
did you see what you can get? You can get like a giant bank office building, like 20 stories for like $500,000.
Detroit is one of the.
But
few
now it's
places-
revitalizing.
Detroit's
people
one
who
of the few
invested there
towns
make
that
them-
I was ever frightened in.
Really?
Like I had my shoe bags out. I had. I don't wear a watch. I don't wear anything like that. I was. But there was no one around. Tuesday afternoon, I had to go to a store in downtown Detroit, and I was packing up my bags, and there were guys sitting on the corner. I'm like, this is a problem. This is a problem, and I'm telling you, because you don't know where you are. I don't know Detroit that well. Like I could get out of Brooklyn and Queens. I could drive. I know where I'm going. Look at the sky. I know which way Boston. I could look at the sky. I could go left, go right, go different.
Yeah.
But if I'm in Detroit, I'm not sure. And like I went to a
That bridge
Tigers
from
game.
Canada.
No.
Well, Detroit's right across the bridge from Canada.
know.
But you go wrong turn, you have to go over with a passport. Now you used to be able to go with a driver's license. Now you can't.
You know what I hate
You
about?
can't enhance or real ID.
Oh, can you?
Yes. the
Did
Canada
they
Bank.
try to mug you, or did you?
No,
get out?
no.
Your Brooklyn
never-
radar got you out of
You know
there.
what it
right?
is? And this is also a silly thing, but I'm 6'1". I'm not as big as you. You know, I don't know, how tall are you? You 6'1"? You 6'2", 6'3"?
No, it's just 6, barely.
So, but they'll tell you, like, statistically, that if you're taller than 5'11", you're probably not going to get mugged so much. It's not worth their effort. It hurts.
Really?
Because they know that they may win,
Yeah.
but if you fight with them, it's going to hurt.
Right. You don't attack, like even an animal won't attack a big. You
Right.
go for the
so,
weaker. Yeah.
So,
smaller.
but Detroit, I felt isolated.
Terrence, you hear that? You're fucked.
Yeah. I felt isolated in Detroit.
Don't go to Detroit, Terrence.
Hartford, I felt
Mugged
isolated
9
in
times
downtown
before you hit the
Hartford.
block.
Yeah.
But like in Brooklyn, no matter where I am in Brooklyn, I feel nope, I'm fine.
I went to Detroit, and I did an open mic in Detroit, right? But Detroit is on its way back up
Why were you in Detroit?
for work.
Just for work?
Yeah. So I found an open mic, and we were down. And the host gets on the mic and said, "Could you believe they're charging $5 to park? Oh my God, I can't." I was like, "That's it? $5 in a
$5
parking
Oh, that's a big
lot?"
deal out there.
I said, "In the parking lot." I was like, "Yo, it's $5 an hour where I'm from."
When I used to sell shoes to Barney's, when Barney's was in business, the only parking space you can go to when you had your sample bags, you'd go there, you'd be in an hour and a half. It was like $72. I was on expenses, so it wasn't my money. But it was like you've got to be kidding me, because on $72 you got to give a tip of $5. Otherwise, you know.
Yeah. Did you ever? I've done that. I've done an open mic in. I went to
How many
Cleveland.
states have you been in to do it?
Me, I lived in the first. I immigrated here from. We defected from communist Czechoslovakia. I'm actually
You
defector
defected?
of a communist. Yeah, 1984
How frightening was
during
that?
the Cold War.
Did you come by? Where'd you go first?
Idaho, and that's where our Mormon sponsors were.
You had Mormon
Shout out
sponsors.
to the. I don't even know.
He
that.
was nearly Mormon. I think.
Yeah,
I think
in
he goes back
1984, I
to
was
it.
7 years old. Mormon sponsors. They only kept us for 2 weeks, and then when we got an apartment, my dad got a job at West Bank, my mom at McDonald's, and they were humiliated. And my mom was humiliated. She's working at McDonald's.
in Idaho.
We were like, listen, we came from a communist country, but we were kind of a little bit more well off than
What town in Idaho? Were you in Boise?
Idaho Falls.
It's a great town.
Beautiful town by the Snake River. I would fish the greatest
I've been there.
fly fishing
It's
capital of the
unbelievable,
U.S.
Snake. You like walking. You're driving across the bridge. Where am
We
I?
didn't
All of a
even
sudden, like,
realize.
wow.
We didn't realize we went into one of the most beautiful cities, but it wasn't then. It wasn't
No,
really like
Evil Knievel jumped over the Snake River. That's
we
what it
stood
was famous
online for Evil Knievel. Yes, we stood online for government cheese, and my mom. I remember getting a burger at McDonald's was 25 cents.
For. You know something? I find the Mormon Church fascinating. That they did that. That's absolutely fascinating.
They're great
Go ahead.
people.
I gotta.
No. The funny you mentioned
But
government.
after 2 weeks, they kicked us out. They're like, your big son's eating everything. That's me. We got to get the fuck out. Sorry, I got to stop cursing.
You mentioned government cheese. I was on live
Big
today
block
with-
like this of
What does it
government
taste
cheese.
like?
I was
Tastes great.
Yeah, it's
Tastes
like American cheese, right? It's like
I
American
was
cheese.
I was
cheddar.
on I was online today with 3 guys talking about the same thing: government cheese, Kool-Aid, stuff you would get from the government. And I didn't have anything to contribute because I grew up in the Caribbean, right? I was like,
had fresh
I'm going to tell you guys a real
I love,
story.
I love bologna. I love America. I love like bologna. I have a craving for every once in a while. Like,
You ever heard Busta Rhymes said he would never get too good for a bologna sandwich.
I
I'm
love
going to go. I'm going to tell you guys a story. That's poor. I'm going to go to real poor in a second.
Let me hear real
So
poor.
that's the government cheese. My mom would sneak. She would come home with McDonald's the first time, and remember, we just came from defected from communist Czechoslovakia out of the Soviet Union during the height of the Cold War.
How? Like, how
And
did
then
you
we
get on
got.
a
She
plane?
brought home the McDonald's, and we were excited to eat it because nobody had tried that in the former Soviet Union. So we had McDonald's for the first time.
It's exotic.
And you think that to us, we couldn't wait to try a McDonald's for the first time. Let me tell you a story about my wife. She in Kazakhstan, a couple years before they came over in the remember when the Soviet Union collapsed, how poor it was there. That's where she lived during the 90s. They could finally afford a Snicker bar because it cost $10 to $15 in the 90s to get a Snicker bar in the Soviet Union. So I think it was on Christmas, they bought a Snicker bar. They waited. They sat around. They cut it in 4 pieces, and they tried an American Snicker bar. That was a big deal.
Did your
Wow.
Is it the same? It's not
My
the same.
father-in-law-
It's not the same language. You guys, but it must be
No.
close. But it's close.
My father-in-law grew up so poor in the Soviet Union, he couldn't afford. His mom and parents couldn't afford toys. They had to stitch a doll for him. Imagine can't afford toys.
Is Slovakian similar language? It's a Cyrillic language?
No, so there's 3 Slavic languages. There's the Russians and the Eastern Slavs. The Russians, they have a different kind of Slavic, very different. They use Cyrillic.
Yeah.
And then there's Western and Southern Slavs, which is they don't use that. That's the Western Slavs are Polish, Ukrainian, Slovakian, and the Southern Slavs is the Yugoslavians, which that word means southern. We talked about this on the podcast, so I apologize, people.
No. My wife is half Slovakian and half.
Yeah, so those are the Southern Slavs, the Yugoslavian Slavs. So only ones who use Cyrillic are Russians, and just Russians.
So, like, if you're hearing someone talk, is it like Brooklyn, Queens, and the Bronx, where you can hear, you know exactly where they're from?
Yeah, I know when I hear Polish, it's a different dialect. I guess it's like a French person hearing
Like
Italian. They
you,
know
you
it's
tell the difference between Trinidadian and Barbados.
Of course,
like in
it's
2
way
seconds,
different.
right?
Easy.
yeah. So
You
French.
can
And
see by
funny-
the posture. You're from the Bronx. You stand straighter. Brooklyn there's more motion.
You know, there's
yeah.
Bronx, there's Brooklyn,
Colin
There's
Quinn he has to
Manhattan.
stop moving around. You know.
there's Harlem.
He's a genius. You work with him.
Harlem has its own thing. Then there's Queens. So plus with the immigrants, you kind of tell with a little different. Obviously, Caribbean people I can tell. Sometimes just by the look.
Yeah.
I was
I find that fascinating. That's why, like, when the voices that you do, it's fascinating.
Yeah.
Like, I'd love to hear you do Shakespeare. Like, I know you did it.
Yes,
I
I did.
I'd love to see that because I know you could pull that off.
Yeah, I did it. I did Othello.
Yeah.
Her father. Terrence, could you pull up? I pull up some Shakespeare right quick. Let's see what I got. Let's pull up some Shakespeare. See what I got.
Was Shakespeare what, like a line?
Othello. Yeah.
Othello.
His most potent grave. It's a scene where, because Iago is upset that Othello chose Cassio to lead because he's about to retire, and Iago was with him like this through thick and thin. And he believed he should have been the one, so he spends the whole play undermining Othello until the end. Right. So this speech is when Barbancio, which was Desdemona's father, because
Go ahead.
Othello had married her in secret, whatever. So he's in front of let's say the court. Most potent grave and reverend signors, my very noble and approved good masters, that I've taken away this old man's daughter. It is most true I have married her. The very head and front of my offending hath this extent no more. Rude am I in my speech, little blessed with the soft praise of peace, for since these arms of mine had 7 years' pith, till now some 9 moons wasted, they have used their dearest action in intended field. And little of this great world can I speak, more than pertains to feats of broil and battle.
Slow
And
clap.
therefore, little shall I tell thee, grace my cause, in speaking for myself, yet, by your gracious patience, I will a round and varnished tale deliver of my whole course of love. What drugs, what charms, What conjurate congregation, and what mighty magic? For such proceeding I'm charged withal. I won his daughter.
That's great.
I think that, something, I was talking to this comedian the other day, Brian McFadden. Brian Scott McFadden, who plays with us at the comic strip. And he is a trained Shakespearean actor.
Yeah.
And he had the Shakespearean, I don't know if the Shakespearean Club, it was a theater in Hoboken. And that's the training, and it helps. The timing, it helps.
One monologue. We just lost every one of our 30
They all died. They all,
viewers.
they all fell asleep. They all went to the bathroom.
I'm
out. These guys are lame.
I haven't done that in like years.
Dude, isn't it amazing? 500 years, and you don't even the language doesn't even make sense to us anymore. You gotta like study how to interpret it.
Yeah.
But you have to learn how to interpret it.
Yeah.
I used to buy those little yellow. What are the little books that the notes?
Cliff notes.
Cliff
Notes. You get Cliff Notes on it.
Basically, with Shakespeare, you read to the punctuation.
Yeah, but a lot of the words you don't know.
Is that the key? You read to the punctuation.
That's the beginning of it. You read to the for such a proceeding I'm charged withal, comma, I won his daughter. So you're understanding what's going on. As long as you understand what's in the scene, then you can.
Did you ever take? You've taken. I know you have taken a lot of serious acting classes.
I started as a stage actor, acting at HB Studio.
That's serious stuff.
Trained with a guy named
Studio.
Michael Beckett, who trained with his teacher taught Al Pacino, and the guy's name was William Hickey.
William
you know who
Hickey.
William Hickey was?
Of course
Do
he
you
was.
remember?
William Hickey was in the
Christmas Vacation.
No. William Hickey was in Pritzi's Honor.
Yes.
He was the father. He was the Don. He was
but-
he was the guy. I think he won the Academy Award.
Wait. Say what movie?
William Hickey was in Pritzi's Honor with Jack Nicholson, Angelica Houston.
Pull it up.
Maybe, but what you'll know him from, Terrence, what you'll know him from.
He was the master teacher.
Listen, do you remember the old man in Christmas Vacation with Chevy Chase that goes, "Wah," and he blows up?
Yeah.
That's him. That's William Hickey. He acted until he died.
Pritzi's Honor.
So his
power.
protege was named Michael Beckett. He's still there. He taught me. I took classes with him for about 4 years. Like once a week on a Friday, you know?
There you go, Jack Nicholson.
Pritzi's Honor, William Hickey. Don Carrot, he was the guy.
Yeah.
I don't know if he won. He may have won the Academy Award for that.
You know what happened in my first time doing Othello? Procrastination. I didn't have all my lines down.
Nominated.
Right?
You didn't want to learn it.
No, I didn't. I was just a procrastinator.
I missed Shakespeare. Like completely in high school. I skipped 8th grade and we missed Shakespeare.
We thought it was the most stupid thing.
I wish I had.
I wasn't interested in high school.
Nobody was interested. He was like, "Well, we got to learn this bullshit."
I didn't want to be.
It's fun.
I didn't want to be a stage
If you
actor.
act if you're an actor, and you do some Shakespeare, you got a nice meaty part, and it turns out great. It gives you unbelievable confidence.
I think it just makes your mind expand. You
It
get
does.
smarter.
It does.
Just listen
Because
to
the
language.
amount.
When you read it and you learn it.
The
And
amount of
especially
words you
in
got to
comedy.
use. I mean, and I did Othello in 2007. Right?
listen,
almost 20 years ago, but I can still remember that.
You read it. Did you read the whole thing? Did you understand the play?
Yeah.
You ever read old like Russian plays like Chekhov or things like that? You read this stuff. These great plays from 100 years ago, and one play you'll read it and you're like, these guys, they put into words and they figure out the human experience and what we. You know what's one right now that
During wartime, they had existential experiences, life and death.
You ever read Hedda Gabler? So it's on.
No, I have
It's
not
on.
read it.
It's that made that movie with the black woman plays Hedda Gabler, the British
Black
one.
woman, the only one.
What's her one? Unless I pointed to Dave, the black woman.
Black woman. He points at me.
Yeah.
What a silly Russian.
So I'm not even going to answer that, David. All right.
But when you were taking acting classes, HB Studios is a major studio to teach, to
I'm
learn.
walking down the hallway. You know who walks past me? The guy who played Snape. The guy, he died. Remember?
Yeah, Alan Rickman lived at
Alan
321
Rickman.
West 13th
I'm like,
Street.
is that huge? 6'5". Yeah. And he died a year after I saw him. He died after.
and I was this close. I was saying in my mind, I was like, I should take classes here. I was like, it's probably not established enough. Silly. Stupid.
HB Studios, Uta Hagen, those
You know what they
studios.
were? All these other places charged a fortune, and they charged nothing because Herbert Bergdorf, who was Austrian or German, he believed like the actors should. He wanted it to be, but when he died, his family took over. That's what I was there already 3 years. Then they just jacked up the rates.
I took
'Cause he
acting
didn't
classes, improv classes, and acting
this close,
classes
though.
with Jeffrey Tambor. Was
You know what I paid in 2007, 2009 when I
Oh.
started there? I paid. Hang on, I paid $120 for 13-week session. 120.
Yeah.
Then they eventually went to like 500 after he died.
And again, because it was so cheap, I thought it wasn't good.
Jeffrey Tambor, who you just said.
Hey now.
Back to, Arrested Development. He's in that, right?
Yes.
Fantastic.
What a great actor.
He's a great actor.
That show is brilliant.
Everything he's in, he eats up the screen. You can't take your eyes off him.
You know what happened? I went to HB Studios, and the lady said to me, "Don't lose that accent.
Don't what?
Don't lose that accent."
You have
Because they were now coming around to
the
doing.
two of you. The first time I saw the two of you was at in
Brewster.
with Jack Ludlam's open mic.
Yeah.
And you guys just ate up the whole. You ate the whole thing.
You know what-
It was like
you know what-
fantastic.
I literally ate everything.
ate everything.
That's because
I know.
I just
I
did
remember your act.
I just did my whole act was in a Scottish accent.
It was fantastic. I thought. I mean, the voices you do, the presence you both have. I mean, again, the star power is there. I think I told you
big
this from day
motherfucker,
one.
yeah.
I mean,
Of course he got praise.
and it's wonderful to be here, everybody. And
Oh, it's great having you.
Velvet Sugar, we're here. Fed.
Oh, you went to HB Studio back there. We might have crossed paths.
No, this was because I left my job
start?
in 2006. So 2006 is when I went.
Okay.
I was, as they call it, auditing all classes.
Yeah,
And
you pay $5 to get a little blue slip
None.
to audit the class.
None. I didn't pay anything. No.
You
I
used to
walked
have
in.
to pay.
I forgot this class was like on 30-something Street, and I went in. It was a British teacher, and this is the thing that turned me off from that class, right? Because she was talking to someone about the acting and the transference of power.
Wait, this is HB?
No, this was not HB. I forgot the
please
name
go
of the
ahead.
school, but they were actually Broadway actors. Like currently was on Lion King, and they were taking classes during the day, doing Broadway at night. And she was telling him about the transfer of power and where in the scene is the power. And she was like, "Great job." But when the black musical theater actors got in, she was like, "No, you're moving too much. You got to stand still. You guys are moving." And there was a guy from Florida that was the backup for what was the lead in Lion King? Mustafa? Yeah, but he was
Mustafa's
like,
the father.
He was like an understudy. And he was like, "Hey man, my mother can act all the time. We just move different." And I was like, "I don't know if I want to take that." And I
You ever see like a great acting teacher? I'm going to tell you one thing Michael Beckett would do. Like a guy would come up, a new actor.
Michael Bennett.
Beckett is his
Michael
name.
Beckett. Okay, sorry.
Michael Beckett. So you can look him up. He was in a few movies, in a big movie where he was the head, but like a small role, few lines. But he didn't get a lot of big role. He was more of a teacher.
Good.
So like a guy would sit down in the class and he would do he would do a monologue or a scene, and there he is. He would do a monologue or a scene, and the guy would do a scene, and he would say he would do some scene from a show or a play or whatever. Sit down, and Michael Beck would be like, "Say that line for me. That line you say that this guy would say. See how you were acting? You were acting like what you think a murderer would act like. You were playing your version of a murder that you've seen from something else. Right. Tell me like you, John, that line and say it." And think about something that maybe upset you, and he would break you down, and you would have actors argue with him. I've seen actors storm out because he would tell them that was horrible because you were playing your idea of a thief confessing to his girlfriend that he's a thief.
Right.
From chapter what we did.
Right.
Play it like you. Play it like you have to justify it.
Right.
What's making you upset? And that they call that the intention. What's your intention that you're saying that to her?
Right.
Just tell her like you would.
Yeah.
But you have to.
Well, see, to me, like when I watched,
You would break down method acting.
I've seen some of your pieces that you guys do. It's very, very natural. It's very funny.
The acting helps the comedy.
Acting
It
always
is
helps the
huge.
comedy.
It is.
But you have to be comfortable in your skin. To me,
Right.
self-examination and psychoanalysis helps your acting because you get more comfortable in your skin, so you can be whoever it is without fear.
But we also had a natural chemistry.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
do.
Our first video we did had 250K views, both on Facebook and and Instagram.
Yeah, no, you guys have to. I want to be part of that. I'm left out. I'm the third wheel here. The
third wheel.
All I got to do is talk about the Knicks defense. And we're back in.
I got some stuff that I'm working on to really do it.
I'm
especially
available
with local.
Tuesday. It's the slowest retail day. I'm available
Yeah,
Tuesday. Yeah.
local. No, I'm serious. Like local.
Do you still travel year round?
Comedians.
Nonstop.
Nonstop.
Really?
Nonstop.
What's the craziest thing that's happened to you on the road? I know you said you almost got robbed in Detroit.
No, I have. So I have.
he
a
didn't
cou-
get
so I have-
robbed. He
so I have
was
a cou-
almost.
so I'll tell you the things that happened to me that only people that I do relate to. I have two very well-known relatives. I have two unusual relatives. My cousin Ronnie owns Kleinfeld's, which is Say Yes to the Dress, which is his bridal.
Okay, yeah.
Heard of
So
that.
every girl that I meet, and no matter where I meet them, now who I'm selling to, whoever, they want to see my cousin Ronnie. They'll call up Ronnie, and Ronnie will give them a schmooze and the whole thing. My cousin Ina was the attorney for every rock star who ever lived. She just had a birthday the other day. So we were at her house, and she's part of this theater world where Ina was part of Broadway. She won the Pulitzer Prize. She produced Top Dog, Underdog. I mean, she's like
name?
Maybach, Meibach.
Okay.
And but you're around these people who have stepped into the arena, and you see these people who have taken theater and taken comedy and taken acting and taken, just doing something interesting in the arts and shown how much more valuable it is than just walking down the street and selling shoes. So you asked me what's the most interesting thing that happens to me on the road. If I'm on the road, it's lonely. And you don't do anything stupid. You're not stupid like that. But I'll end up going to a Barnes & Noble or going to a bookstore, and I'll find her name in the books. And that's a normal thing for me to do. She's in Just Kids by Patti Smith, and I'll find her name, and I'll say, I'm less alone. But like what I do on the road is I'll do stand-up everywhere. Like I'll go, if I go sell Nordstrom in Seattle, I'm playing club comedy in Seattle. If I'm playing in Atlanta, if I'm working in Atlanta, I'll go to Laughing Skull. If I go to Chicago, I'll play at the
Comedy Bar?
at the Pony, which is by Wrigleyville. I'll play in New York everywhere. So no matter where I'm traveling to, I'm looking for open mics, or I'm looking for setups, because now, like, we've gotten to a stage in our comedy event, whatever we do, that we can make a phone call and get on stage.
So you got some connections in each place.
I'm connected because I'm connected through the comic strip in New York, where I've been 8 years now. I'm a regular. I'm up April 23rd.
There you go. Go see him.
April 23rd, May 21st, June 3rd. Try the veal.
Try the veal.
Try the veal.
And I'm at Governor's this Saturday, April 18th. My whole high school's going to be there.
Governor's
Out in
Levittown.
Levittown. But interesting, when you go on the road, what's the most interesting thing? Playing the license plate game it's boring. Quite frankly, it's boring. You listen to podcasts.
So it gets really lonely on the road.
Oh, my God. I know the Harry Potter books. I caught a big mistake in Harry Potter the other day. Massive mistake.
So my wife, hold on. My wife, she may want, I'm going to have her watch this. I'm going to tune her in, whatever minute this is.
Yeah.
She's the master. She got me into Harry Potter. My wife is the original.
Caught a mistake.
Biggest Harry Potter fan. What's the mistake? Go.
The mistake is this. When they're looking at the Horcruxes, this is a
Wait, movie mistake?
book mistake.
Book mistake. Uh-oh. She's
It's in the movie too, but book mistake. So this is a, what do you call it? You don't want to tell people? You got to.
Spoiler alert.
Spoiler alert.
Spoiler alert. Flash.
Spoiler alert for you losers.
Talking about the Horcruxes,
You nerds.
where the soul
Nerds.
of, where the pieces of soul of Voldemort are being are
Put it
hidden.
into 8 Horcruxes, right?
Seven.
Seven.
Okay, 7 Horcruxes. So, so Dumbledore tells Harry that the one thing of Gryffindors that Voldemort cannot get, because it's the only thing left, is the sword of Gryffindor. And that's the mistake,
What?
because the sorting hat was Gryffindor's hat.
Well, so what's the mistake exactly?
He says there's only one thing that Voldemort could steal, the sword of Gryffindor.
There's actually 2 things.
But the sorting hat, where everybody puts on their hats.
Gryffindor's hat?
Gryffindor's hat.
So there's actually 2 things. That's the mistake.
That's the mistake, but it's a big mistake.
He couldn't. So he couldn't. So the real thing is he couldn't steal the sword and the hat.
He could have taken the hat.
Oh, he could have taken the hat. He could have.
Okay.
Never
All right,
read Harry Potter.
there you go, my wife. Check this out.
never
She says
watched
she
Harry
claims there's 0 mistakes.
Lots of mistakes. I'll tell you another mistake.
there?
Tell you another mistake. In the
The fight.
other mistake is
You dizzy broad. Why don't you read the books better?
when
Just
they
kidding.
go
Wow.
I'm kidding.
Wow.
kidding.
when they go to the lake in book 6, when they're in the cave in the cavern, that goes to the lake. Dumbledore tells to Harry,
Wait, which Dumbledore? Gay Dumbledore or non-gay one?
well, he was gay.
The first one, Dumbledore?
Dumbledore's always been gay.
I know, but you know what I mean.
It's a
Because in the real life, the
born
first
that.
one really was gay, right?
No, in the movies, it was Richard Harris who was not gay.
He died, right?
He died. Well, Michael Gambon died too.
I didn't like the second Dumbledore. I loved
He was
the
a
first
little
one.
goofier. The first one needed to be had more.
And then
stature.
they replaced him with a goofball.
Yeah.
What were they thinking?
Oh.
That my wife says that was the most butchered book. This is how butchered it was. His eyes weren't the right color.
Everything. The people who read it are
How do
so
you-
into it.
I know, but like if I'm going to make a movie, and in the book the guy clearly has frizzy hair
He has to have
and
bright
blue eyes,
Bright blue eyes.
bright blue eyes, and I'm going to cast a guy with flat hair and brown eyes.
Yeah.
Don't you think maybe that's the one thing you should get right?
They could change with effects too.
It is amazing how deep people get into these things because back in 2007 when I was doing Othello, we had a couple that came in that actually toured the region where the fictional Othello took place, like the Ottoman Empire, and brought like facts from this place.
Yeah.
I was like, man, you people
That
got
was
a
the
lot of
beauty of
time.
Hamilton. That was the beauty of Hamilton. I don't know if you've seen it, but it's like it's amazing.
Broadway show?
Yeah.
I saw it when they first
amazing.
aired it live on TV. I didn't go see it.
It's amazing
Incredible.
that he put this book. The first 300 pages of the book were in the first song. It's amazing what he did.
Yeah, I mean, it's
But
definitely does
there's some
make sense.
mistakes in Harry, but it doesn't matter. It's all about growing up and getting along, and it's fine. But it keeps me company when I'm on the road. So, like, I'll listen to the same things over and over again. And I've been listening to all the classics, going back.
This is when you're driving, you're talking about books?
I drive 50 to 60,000 miles a year selling shoes, and I have done for 35 years.
So you listen to books more or podcasts?
Depends. I mostly listen to books.
Books.
So right now I'm going through all the classics. So I just did Treasure Island, Robinson Crusoe. I'm in Dorian Gray right now. I've done the Sherlock Holmes anthology I know by heart.
Really? You get them all, what, from a library?
I get them on Audible.
Yeah.
But going back to what you said about coming to this country by the Mormons, the first Sherlock Holmes story is all about the Mormons. And it talks about how the Mormons came about, which is fascinating to me. My dad loved the Mormons because my dad had sciatica.
Didn't it start in New York?
They started up by Rochester and Palmyra, New York.
Do you know nobody can explain why every religion or cult mostly started in Western New York?
Because they had nothing up there, and so everybody stood on a soapbox and said, "I'm going to tell you how the world was created," and this stuck.
That's when it was 13 colonies. That goes back to that time,
They
right?
all these people living
Western
upstate
New
with
York,
nothing.
like-
With nothing, he was actually from Vermont. Joseph Smith was born in Vermont. He was born in Sharon, Vermont.
Old Joe.
But, we saw the tablets. The tablets don't exist. If you go there, it's a fascinating tour. You go to Palmyra, there's a tour. You go there.
Joe Smith.
You go there to his birthplace, and you go there, and
So how did the whole thing move to Utah, the Mormons?
well, they left. They left. They were thrown out. Every place they
that's
went, they
what
were
I
thrown out. They went to Ohio. They were thrown out. They went to Nauvoo, Illinois, where he was
When you say
arrested.
Thrown out. They were religious kind of persecuted? Like
Yeah,
they looked
they
at
were,
him
they
like,
said it was 10.
Like,
there
get
was
your
100.
weird ass religion out of here.
There was 10. There was 100. Then there was 1,000. They're going from town to town.
Yeah,
They were in
Utah
Western
said.
Pennsylvania. They ended up in Ohio. They ended up in Illinois, Nauvoo, Illinois, where Joseph Smith was arrested and then killed. And then Brigham Young took him west, and they found the
Young,
plains, the
Utah.
salt plains, and they said, "This is where we're
Utah
gonna stay."
says, "Welcome home."
Yeah,
You ever come to your door?
all the time.
Ding dong.
It's part of my act.
And they come to my door and ask me about Joe Smith, and then I ask them about particular scriptures sometime.
Yeah.
Then they go, I'd have to ask. Come back.
My dad used the Book of Mormon. My dad used the Book of Mormon because it was the perfect size to support his back. He had sciatica. For
I never
years.
seen that play. I heard it's so good. I got to watch it.
It's okay. It's really dirty. It's like you don't expect it. You think it's going to be like just funny, but it's like it's over the top and it's really violent. The guy gets
the
his
South
head
Park
blown off in
guys,
the middle of it.
so-
Huh?
It's very funny.
Book of Mormon.
Yeah.
You seen it?
No.
It's great.
It's the South Park guys.
Yeah.
I know that. I
geez.
knew
It has a happy ending, but it's like but there's a guy who gets his head blown off halfway through, and you're like, whoa, it's alarming.
so it's a little nuts.
It's a little nuts. Well, they go to Uganda, and he has to. These Mormon missionaries knock on the door, and they have to help these guys who are, in essence, local terrorists. Getting their guns and their.
Isn't our mayor from Uganda? Mayor of New York City now?
No.
This guy?
He
is
From
from-
Nani? He is from
He
Uganda.
was born in Uganda.
He's not your mayor. You're a Westchester resident.
Born in Uganda.
You're Westchester. It's
Nice.
not just New York City.
Born in Uganda by way of Boko Haram.
So
Just
in
kidding.
the acting, and I find interesting the acting. First of all, the stand-up you. By the way, if you haven't seen these guys, they're hysterical headliners, and it's a pleasure working with them. I think we've worked together 20 times, 15, 20 times.
Something like that, yeah. Yeah, not enough.
Not enough. Really great.
Yeah.
It's always brings out the best in me. Always brings out the best in everybody around. Always.
I don't think I've been on a bad show with you. Every show is fun.
No, it's always fun. A couple of them have been too far to drive. And the ones
And
in
you
Belmont,
got a
New Jersey.
hilarious act.
Thank you.
And then recently you made it like more fast. You cleaned it up. You made it faster.
You sped it up.
Sped it up.
It's
different
a,
level.
it's a funny thing. You guys, Alex and I don't know why I call you Beckles. In my
my
head I
last
call you.
name.
I know, but I don't say Black Rock Dave. I don't say Dave. Somehow Beckles comes out of my head. It's like
That's what they always
easy
call
thing.
me in school. Beckles.
Beckles.
Beckles. Even now.
But I do want to get back to the Knicks because it's bothering me. Because if Cat doesn't become dominant,
Right.
and if Brunson and Cat don't share the ball and make sure that Bridges is in the game enough
OG.
and OG is in the game enough,
Right.
Hart makes his own
Right.
But those guys have to be in, otherwise they're standing on the 3-point line on the corners.
Yes.
And they get
This is
stagnant.
true. This is true. But I'm hoping that Mike Brown could get that accomplished because like Sal Licata, who used to be on WFAN, that he's replaced now. I remember, I think the Knicks were in the midst of losing either 3 or 4 games in a row, and he posted on Twitter, "Mike Clown, let's get this clown out of here." So I saved that as a screenshot.
Get which clown out of here?
Mike Brown.
Get Mike Brown. Mike Brown has a ring. How
So
many rings does Sal Licata have?
Who's the coach for the Knicks right now?
Mike
Mike
Brown.
Brown.
What's his story?
Thibodeau doesn't
Who
have
did he
any.
play for?
He has 1 ring.
What's
with
his legacy,
Boston.
Brown?
Assistant coach.
What did he win a championship?
No,
Mike Brown?
assistant coach. He won assistant coach with Cleveland.
Yeah.
All right.
No. Oh, Mike
No,
Brown.
was it Golden State?
Golden State. Yeah. Golden State. Yeah.
He wasn't the assistant coach for Tyronn Lue? Maybe not.
Who? Mike Brown.
Maybe not have been. He has
Thibodeau
he has 1 ring as an assistant. He didn't win as a.
Did you listen to the We May Be Drunk podcast?
Which one?
Norman and Morrell, where they talk about meeting. One of them talks about meeting.
Yeah. Josh Hart.
No. One with Stroop about meeting Nikola Jokic.
Yeah.
He's
I like him.
7'1".
His brother's bigger than him.
Yeah.
You see his
Yeah.
brother? His brother's like got another 70, 80 pounds on him.
Jesus Christ.
Brother's like huge.
He's like a little shorter but bigger, right?
Jokic is an amazing player because he can't
That's
jump.
crazy. That's what he's saying.
It's just
How do you say it?
his IQ.
Stroop said,
Stroop
if
goes-
he jump, he can put.
Because if he jump, we can slide a piece of paper on his
it. But
toes.
it's the way he says it.
Well, Cat
'Cause
can't jump
he's
either.
funny with
I
that
mean,
accent. It's funny.
I can't jump either, but Jokic, his IQ is off the charts.
But you know that thing in Jokic when he does that fall fade away?
Yeah.
You know who did it? The dude who won for the Mavericks, the German.
Dirk.
Yeah,
Right?
Similar.
It looked like,
Dirk.
oh, I can do that. Well, go try and do it.
on the
It's,
fall of it.
very hard to
it's
do.
all
Well,
finesse.
Yeah, I
That's what
played
Bridges-
basketball
It's like
in
punching back.
Germany. So
I follow fighting.
Fade
I used,
away.
to, I used to love the UFC, and there was a guy that the hardest thing to do is to retreat and punch and knock guys out, and one or two guys can do it. And
Did you
I feel-
fight? Did you actually
No,
fight?
no, I did a little jujitsu with one of these
Oh,
guys.
wow. That sounds.
I did. I used to
Have you
train
ever
it.
been in a fight?
Have I ever been in a fight? I used to be a bouncer.
You were a bouncer. Where?
a
I
bouncer
told
for,
him
like, years.
he's got to bring that material to the state. He got some stories.
That's
I was the nice
unbelievable.
bouncer. No, listen, I was the nice bouncer.
Where were you a
I
bouncer?
probably swung once or twice my whole
Beating up
Where in
Italians.
Queens, Bayside.
No, in
Boulevard?
Long Island.
Beating up
That's all right.
Italians.
Zachary's.
I've been to Zachary's.
And he got to
Guido-
have slick back
Guido's.
here.
Where was Zachary's? I've
Oh,
been there.
Ginzo's.
Yeah.
Ginzo's. Guido's.
Slick back here,
Wow.
slick back.
Where was
Alex will
Zachary's?
punch him in the face.
In like New Hyde
Zachary's
Park.
was East Meadow.
East Meadow, Florida.
It was next to a sports bar. They were owned by Greg Buttles, and then it changed name to Chelsea Street. But it was Buttles. Remember Buttles? The
From
Jets.
the Jets.
The Jets.
Yeah.
Dick.
East Meadow. We used to play ball at East Meadow at McVeigh High School.
Yeah.
But you know what? There's a lot of people that you hear are I forgot who it was, but somebody was shitting on Marcello Hernandez from SNL. They was like, hey, he was a dick.
Yeah, no.
But you know, sometimes
his stand-up routine. His stand-up is good.
yeah, you got to take that stuff.
Guess
in
who came every night to that place? It was called at that point. They changed
East
it. from
Meadow, Frank
Buttles.
Viola.
It was right next to the old Islander Stadium, Nassau
so you
Nassau
had-
Coliseum. You know who came there every night? And I seen all of them. I wouldn't know who they were. All the Islanders back in the '90s. And then from my country, he was the fastest NHL. One of the fastest was. Do you remember Sigmund Palffy for the
I don't
Islanders?
know anything about hockey.
You don't know hockey too much. All right.
I had Messier's ring on, though. I sold him shoes once. Let me put his ring on. I have a picture of me. I had hair.
I remember-
dark
I
hair.
I think
then.
I seen Messi
Messier?
because they would
Really
you know
good
when
guy.
they played each other they would go at even like the opposing team they met up at that place and they drank at that place. So I've seen a lot of hockey players, and you would see them from like they busted noses and stuff. And
Yeah.
Hockey players are real guys. They're like normal human
What's it?
beings.
Henrik Greg? He was a goalie for the Rangers.
Yeah, Lundqvist.
Henrik
Lundqvist?
Lundqvist.
Yeah,
He was from
I saw him.
Sweden.
I
He's
saw
like a
him.
Swedish super.
Saw him a few years ago.
You don't like
really
the Swedish
skinny.
people? I'm just kidding. Yeah.
No, I'm just kidding. I'm not
It's
against the
all good.
Swedish.
Wow.
I'm kidding. They're
Jeez, he
Swedes.
hates the whites, man.
Where are you guys on next? Where are you playing next?
We're
Saturday.
Where are you playing?
playing it.
Right.
Where are we? Some coffee
Right.
shop.
He's hosting, and I'm.
Is that what I'm
featuring
doing?
or something,
I don't even know.
Yeah.
This Saturday.
Yeah.
And
Sunday
we're gonna
too?
plug everything at the end too.
That's fine. I don't know.
Sun-
I was just
Sunday-
curious.
Sunday too?
I was going to pop up.
Are you Sunday too?
I got a show
Isaac?
Sunday.
Oh, you
I
are.
got a show Sunday at New Paltz.
Yeah.
I like New Paltz. You get a big bag of weed there.
Did you?
No, that used to be the drug trafficking center of the SUNY system.
Was it really?
New
New
Paltz.
Paltz?
Now you need an A to get in, but New Paltz was where the lawyers went and where you got your drugs.
You said it like a cop would know that fact. But you know it.
Everybody knew that fact.
Everybody, yeah.
It's still a stoner town.
Stone.
Oh, yeah. Well, they call Oneonta Stonianta.
Yeah.
It's like when you go to
They
get
got
stoned.
the,
right?
they got it from New Paltz.
It's so it's so
okay.
prevalent now. I was working the other day, and a guy came up to the truck. He's like, Yeah, they said you guys are hiring. Is there anybody I could? And I just like that. You
They always
guys,
have
you
open.
guys, can you tell me where to apply? You guys are looking for people. Or I goes, no, I'll be good. He goes, you not guys are not. All right, okay, so there's nobody I can talk to. I said, nah, chief. I said I don't work for the same people as them. Oh, okay.
How don't you use the bouncer stories? That's unbelievable.
I don't know. I got to figure out how to make them funny.
He's there. Radu is fun.
I had a crazy story.
Oh yeah, I used to work with a 6'11" Romanian guy,
What?
and I saw him beat up a car one time.
6'11".
Saw him beat up a freaking
He
car.
beat up a Cadillac. This guy ran to a Cadillac in front of the Nassau County Police. Radu chased him, like running after him like a horse. Looked like a moose running on all. Picture a moose on its hind legs running.
Right.
And then he caught up to the car, and the guy couldn't start his car, and the cops were watching this. But the cop's like your size, and you see somebody 6'11".
Yeah, no.
It doesn't matter if you have a gun. You're like, I'm not gonna. He was foaming at the mouth. He was so mad because this guy tried to punch him.
Yeah.
I think he connected, but he just hit him lightly. So Radu blasted the guy. The guy ran and got to his car, and you hear like there was no key fobs. You hear trying to start the car nervously, probably looking for his keys. And in front of the cop, there's like it was like a melee, but everybody's watching this moment from 50 feet away. And Radu pulls out brass knuckles and starts pounding the top. Now his belly button is at the top of the car.
Who has
That's how tall
brass?
he is.
Who has brass knuckles?
Pulls out brass knuckles and starts pounding it like the car starts caving in, hitting the top of the car. And then he finally started it. As he started it, he starts kicking with his steel-tip boots, starts kicking the side of the car. The door's caving in, and then it sped off. Cops watched this whole thing, never arrested him. Just watched it happen. What cop is going to be like, hey, you go arrest this guy? You crazy? Cop's like maybe 5'8". Why, this guy's 6'11". Yeah.
Romanian.
I had a
Crazy Romanian guy.
crazy thing
He's
happen.
like that. Who was that superhero?
The
from
best story
Avengers?
about that is
Colossus.
this.
He's like
I
Colossus.
I wasn't there for this, but my brother and his friend went to Radu's house, and he would have this really deep accent. He'd just be like, oh, "Hey guys," and he was like a big goof, just a giant goof. So he had a piano in his living room. He goes, "I'm going to play Chopin for you guys." Chopin, one of the greatest. He sits down, and all of a sudden, music that'll make you cry. And my brother and his friend are looking at him like, well, is this real? They thought the piano was, the way my brother's friend described it, he thought the piano had a machine. You know those old-timey pianos that was moving?
This guy could really do it.
And it was really him playing this music. And they started crying listening to a 7-foot-tall guy playing perfect Chopin.
Wait, who's gay again? No.
Because he was Eastern European. Well, no, he's Eastern European. They all learn an instrument. They all learn.
I must play song to make everybody cry. Will melt your heart.
It's like
Sadness.
You ever met any girl from like Korea or China? They always know the violin or the cello.
On the violin, and they're
Right?
Yeah, they're all
You got to learn it.
really educated
They
like that. We
beat
didn't
your
know
ass, or
Shakespeare
you
as
don't get a
kids.
bowl of rice for dinner.
Yeah, well, there you
So
go.
learn that cello.
The director, I met him doing gospel plays, and he just said your voice, because you wanted to do something other than that.
Yeah.
And I think your voice is just, and he didn't have me like put on any fake accent, because it was very multicultural. You know, there was a female fellow that we flipped back and forth. Everybody, you know, you had Asian, Chinese, gay. It doesn't matter, Latino, and it was a mixed marks. But the second time I played it, it was traditional. The only thing black was me on the stage, man.
That's funny. I like that.
Yeah, 4 minutes. Man, this 56 minutes went by like that.
Like nothing.
Have we been on for an hour?
Yes.
already?
56,
Yes.
almost an hour.
And I'm
Probably
like-
an hour, yeah.
I'm like, what did we talk about again?
Is this? I don't even know. Is this live? I don't even know if this.
No, it's not live.
No, it's not live.
It can. If something has to be edited out, is that possible?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, cock. Watch. He's going to have to edit that out. So sorry, Terrence, but that's the third curse today. I know. I've counted them. I'm good.
Oof, some Catholic he is. Ugh.
No, I know.
The fun, but you asked me the craziest things going on the road. Being out of money, with nowhere
Doesn't
home,
that feel lonely?
no way home, desperate,
That's the loneliest
no way
feeling.
home. No, lose your driver's license.
How does that happen?
Everything happens.
Jesus, you lost your money in your driver's
Everything
license?
happened. You're driving.
What
with
state were you
samples.
in?
I went to see Nordstrom once. They broke into my car. They stole all my samples and my glasses. So I couldn't even get back in the car and drive away. I had to
Where did they do this? Where?
Seattle and
Seattle?
Seattle. And what was really is when we
redheaded,
walked into the
stinky
meeting,
white people.
we went to the meeting, all the buyers were all there and they're like, they said, well, samples are a sign of weakness. I said, that's right. We don't need samples. And it was the greatest meeting we ever had.
So it turned out you drove all the way to Seattle for
No,
that.
we fly to Seattle.
You fly. They stole your stuff.
They stole everything.
Oh my God.
Seattle is
Seattle's
that
known
is
for
the,
All right, real quick, let's talk about cities.
hold on. That is the prettiest sky I've ever seen in my entire life.
spectacular.
That's what I was.
Seattle's a great
That's,
town.
and that's what I was going to say. What's the states in this country where people say, "Oh, it's this, it's rainy, or it's too much," but it's really not, and it's beautiful. Go ahead,
Fantastic.
go.
Seattle's
What's a sleeper
fantastic.
city? Name another sleeper city.
Portland, Oregon is a great
Portland,
city.
Oregon?
Portland, Maine is a great city.
How about Bend, Oregon? I heard good things. You been
I've
there?
never been. Been
I
on the
heard it.
coast. Oregon coast is nothing prettier than the Oregon coast. You can see it's like the dinosaurs
I
play.
heard it's amazing there.
Fantastic. But
What else is like a sleeper city that you think?
Pittsburgh's a great city.
Yeah.
Pittsburgh's
Pittsburgh's
great
actually
city,
that.
great food, smart
Never been
people.
there. It's all canals,
they got-
right?
they got
and
A lot of
bridges.
bridges, a lot of
Bridges.
every
Oh,
every
my
street is a new neighborhood because
Yeah.
you're going
Bridge.
up and down the hills.
All right, three biggest shithole states. Go. Shithole cities. Not good.
You know,
Alabama, Mississippi.
I gotta tell you, something in the middle of Jersey.
Don't hold
is
back.
hard to me.
Middle of Jersey.
There's
You heard of
nothing to look
Jersey.
at.
You're animals.
There's nothing to look
Bunch
at.
of
when you drive
Italian
that-
animals.
Listen, honestly, in my experience,
Turnpike
in my
is tough.
experience, driving Arkansas is like, ugh. I was recently on the road driving an all electric vehicle. I was talking to him, and I'm going from West Tennessee into Arkansas. He said to me, "You're gonna look for electric charging, and then gonna be like, electric? What the
What's
hell is
electricity?
that?" Right.
Yeah.
That's what he said, shitting on it. As soon as I got into Tennessee, there was an
We don't believe in science.
electric charging station. I was like, okay, good. I had 75%. No need to charge. Another 2.5 hours, I go pull up to look for a charging station. It recommended the one that I passed 2.5 hours. I was
Wow.
like, oh, shit.
When
I
you
literally had on the seat of my pants looking for a charger in Arkansas.
You pull into like a gas station and you drive over that hose and you hear ding ding. You know you're in like a. There's gonna be no charging
the
station.
things that are like stereotypical is like the Chinese food stinks everywhere. Pizza sucks.
Pizza and Chinese food. I lived in Hawaii. Goddamn, the pizza and Chinese food. You can get better from a frozen like.
Yeah,
Yeah, I had
Horrific.
Pizza, I had pizza in Columbus, Ohio. That thing gave me diarrhea, bro.
we got less than a minute
1 minute.
left.
When you're when you're driving into South Dakota, though, the sign, welcome to South Dakota, it says, eat meat, wear furs, buy guns, South Dakota.
I love it. Woo wee.
Okay, we got.
Well,
we
go
got
ahead.
less
Plug
than a
something.
minute.
What do you got?
plug
What do you
it.
got?
Governor's
going on?
April 18th, Saturday night.
Nice.
Comic strip, April 23rd, May 21st, June 3rd. New York City.
All in his head.
How can they find you on your socials?
Shoeman Dan stand up on Instagram.
We'll put it on the bottom of the screen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And go ahead, Dave. What do you got going on?
I got this Saturday and Sunday in Rye and Port Chester. I think I gotta check. I think next weekend. I'm not sure.
All right, this is not going to be out by then, not by the 19th.
May
If you're
2nd,
watching
I'm
this,
doing something, yeah.
come see me on Comics Channeling Legends and Tommy's, where I'm going to do
right.
Dave Attell, and Dave is going to do who?
I did Tracy Morgan
What
before.
are you going to do it again?
I don't know. I'm not sure.
All right, he may do. I'm going to do
we're
Dave
gonna
Attell. Come
May
out to that
Amazing.
May 8th.
Yeah.
Check out our
I'm
Instagram,
gonna do Tracy Morgan.
That's hysterical.
and I'm going to be
Get her
hosting.
pregnant.
I'm going to be hosting at Rhino Comedy in Suffern on the 23rd. And I'm going to be featuring at Laugh It Up Comedy Club for Anthony Zenhauser. That's going to be a fun show up in Poughkeepsie.
Yeah.
Come out for that. May
Zenhauser.
29th.
Hauser. Yeah.
And
And keep liking, sharing, subscribing. Follow me at BlackRock Dave. Follow Alex at Big Alex Comedy.
All right.
And look
If
for
you need
more stuff as
shoes,
we come
Drew
out.
Shoes.
Yeah.
And Rose Homerson for women. Drew Shoes. If your
Wearing them
feet can't be
size
fit.
16 snowshoes.
12 wide.
12.
There you go.
Hilarious.
All right.
Hey, man, thanks for coming through, man. This is great.
Had a great time. You guys are kings. Two of my favorites.
Danny, thank you.
He just stretches on.